Running isolated market-making algorithms on correlated assets is absolute financial suicide. While your baseline model perfectly balances inventory on asset A, toxic flow on asset B is systematically dismantling your portfolio. You aren't making a market, you are providing a free cross-asset arbitrage buffet to statistical execution engines. Welcome to Omnicast Network. Today we tear down the illusion of single-asset models and architect cross-inventory optimization. Let's examine the baseline, the standard Avellaneda-Stoikov single-asset inventory model. For an isolated asset, your reservation price dynamically adjusts based on current inventory, risk aversion, and asset variance. You skew your bid and ask quotes to mathematically incentivize order flow that returns your inventory back to a neutral state. If we deploy two independent instances of this model, one for asset X and one for asset Y, they operate in completely isolated silos. They calculate their independent risk premiums assuming zero structural correlation between the two order books. Here lies the fatal mathematical oversight. These assets do not exist in a sterile, uncorrelated vacuum. Let's introduce a real-world macro volatility shock. A massive institutional liquidation suddenly occurs on asset X. Asset X immediately collapses. But your isolated algorithm on asset Y is completely blind to this macroeconomic shift. Because it lacks a real-time cross-asset covariance matrix, Model Y continues to post naive, tight bids. In microseconds, predatory algorithms sweep your stale quotes on asset Y. Your isolated math has triggered catastrophic adverse selection. In Part 1, our isolated models collapsed because they lacked spatial awareness of correlated assets. To survive, we must transition from single-asset scalars to a rigorous n-dimensional multi-asset framework. We redefine our mid-price stochastic differential equation as a multidimensional Wiener process. Instead of a single variance term, we introduce sigma, the n-by-n symmetric positive definite covariance matrix. Our inventory is no longer a scalar value. It becomes a vector Q, tracking exposure across all assets simultaneously. This fundamentally alters the Avellaneda-Stoikov reservation price calculation. The reservation price vector is now a function of the mid-price vector minus the cross-inventory penalty. The matrix multiplication term, gamma times sigma times Q, is the architectural masterpiece of this model. Let's expand this for a two-asset universe. Notice how the inventory of asset X directly impacts asset Y. If you accumulate a massive long position in asset X, the covariance matrix projects this risk. If X and Y are highly correlated, the algorithm automatically lowers the bid on Y, instantly shedding correlated risk. This mathematically immunizes your portfolio against the cross-asset latency arbitrage we saw earlier. However, this theoretical perfection relies on a fatal assumption, that the covariance matrix sigma is stationary. In live markets, especially during liquidity shocks, correlations dynamically shift and break historical regimes. Furthermore, recomputing a massive n-by-n matrix using standard operations introduces O of n cubed computational latency. If your CPU takes even a millisecond to decompose the matrix, the predators have already swept your book. We must fix this. In Part 2, we mathematically prove that relying on O of n cubed matrix operations inside your critical path is lethal. Standard Cholesky decompositions block the CPU thread, forcing your quotes to go stale and inviting predatory sweepers. To achieve microsecond cross-asset pricing, we must abandon batch process stationary models. We implement a real-time, online exponentially weighted moving average, or EWMA, for our covariance matrix. By treating every incoming tick as a vector R, we update the state recursively without ever recalculating from scratch. Mathematically, the new matrix is a weighted sum of the rank 1 outer product of the tick vector and the previous matrix state. Because this is a pure rank 1 update, computational complexity collapses from O of n cubed down to O of n squared. Let's look at the C++ architecture. We bypass standard dynamic memory allocation entirely. By utilizing fixed-size stack arrays and SIMD intrinsics, we execute the rank 1 update in a few hundred nanoseconds. Furthermore, if your model explicitly requires the inverse covariance matrix, you do not invert it. You apply the Sherman-Morrison formula to update the inverse matrix directly iteratively, preserving O of n squared complexity. With this optimized matrix architecture, our latency bottleneck is completely obliterated. Our multi-asset reservation price updates instantly. The engineering problem is solved. However, calculating the reservation price is only half of the market-making puzzle. We still need optimal spread placement. To find the optimal quotes, we must numerically solve the N-dimensional Hamilton-Jacobi-Bellman, or HJB, partial differential equation. But discretizing the HJB equation across a multi-asset inventory grid triggers the catastrophic curse of dimensionality. A 5-asset portfolio with 100 inventory states per asset requires 10 billion grid nodes. Your system runs out of RAM and crashes instantly. In Part 3, our system crashed. The N-dimensional HJB required 10 billion grid nodes, triggering the curse of dimensionality. Finite difference methods are mathematically dead here. To survive, we must abandon grid-based PDE solvers entirely. Instead, we apply an asymptotic expansion to our value function, assuming it is mathematically separable. We redefine the value function as our cash, plus mark-to-market inventory, minus a quadratic risk penalty. This quadratic penalty is exactly gamma, multiplied by the inventory vector, covariance matrix, and time horizon. By injecting this ansatz back into the HJB equation, the complex partial derivatives instantly collapse. The insurmountable n-dimensional PDE reduces to a set of elegant, closed-form algebraic equations. No grid required. Our optimal mid-price reservation shift, and our bid-ask spread, can now be calculated in constant time. Let's look at the implementation. We compute the multi-asset quote skew using a highly optimized dot product. The algorithm multiplies the covariance matrix by our current inventory vector to find the exact multi-asset penalty. Space complexity drops from O of k to the power of n, straight down to O of n squared. We are calculating optimal quotes across 50 assets simultaneously, in mere microseconds. However, this closed-form perfection relies on a dangerous assumption, continuous and symmetric liquidity. When you take a toxic fill on asset A, the model passively skews asset B to offset the risk. But if asset B is highly illiquid, waiting for a passive fill guarantees massive mark-to-market losses. Passive skewing fails in fragmented books. We must transition to active cross-asset hedging. In Part 4, we saw how passive skewing collapses when the correlated asset is illiquid. Waiting for a maker fill on a sparse order book guarantees catastrophic mark-to-market losses. The mathematical solution is cross-asset active hedging. We stop waiting and start crossing the spread. We introduce a deterministic active hedging boundary into our stochastic control framework. If the marginal cross-inventory penalty exceeds the transaction cost of a liquid proxy, we execute. Let asset C be a highly liquid futures contract, structurally cointegrated with our illiquid asset B. Instead of widening the bid on B and praying for a fill, we instantly fire a market order to sell C. The optimal action switches exactly when the utility of risk reduction exceeds the proxy's half-spread plus taker fees. Let's architect the execution logic. We calculate the marginal penalty vector for our entire portfolio. If this penalty breaches the active threshold, the engine routes an aggressive child order to the deeper venue. Simultaneously, we must apply a structural spread adjustment to the illiquid asset. We add the expected hedging cost directly into our quotes, choking off further toxic flow. Directional risk is now neutralized. The multi-asset portfolio is strictly delta hedged in real time. However, this aggressive execution architecture introduces a fatal, slow-bleeding vulnerability. Every time we cross the spread to actively hedge, we bleed out our P&L to exchange taker fees. Furthermore, holding massive, offsetting gross positions across different venues obliterates your margin limits. You survive the toxic flow, but your clearing firm liquidates you for severe capital inefficiency. In Part 5, our gross margin exploded. Aggressive cross-asset hedging neutralized directional risk, but destroyed capital efficiency. To survive, institutional market makers abandoned gross margin accounts and transitioned to portfolio margining via VaR. Under a value-at-risk framework, your clearinghouse does not penalize gross exposure. It calculates margin based entirely on the net portfolio variance. Mathematically, the required margin is proportional to the square root of your inventory vector, multiplied by the covariance matrix. Because asset A and asset B are highly correlated, your long and short positions mathematically cancel out the variance. Let's implement the margin optimization logic in Python. By calculating the true net variance, the required capital collapses from a linear summation to a deeply discounted net exposure. This capital efficiency unlocks massive leverage. You can quote deeper, tighter, and control vastly larger segments of the order book. Your multi-asset market-making architecture is now theoretically complete and mathematically rigorous. However, theoretical perfection is useless if your execution is bound by CPU clock cycles. If your C++ pricing engine takes 50 microseconds to evaluate the HJB expansion, FPGA-equipped predators will still front-run your internalizer. Thank you for joining this masterclass. The next frontier is hardware acceleration and network card bypass. If you want to survive in the algorithmic trenches, subscribe to the Omnicast network, like this video, and stay rigorous.